Which you guys started out fast, and then Georgia Tech adjusted. And what was sort of the adjustment there that you saw on the defensive side of the ball for Tech, and how did that kind of mess you guys up on offense?
I thought it was the threes. I mean, obviously, give out 7 threes and a half. That's a lot. They played with good pace, got us in some pick and roll situations, and our urgency to take away shooters needed to be better. A couple of them came at the late clock. Thought McCullough came in the game and changed the game, and I thought Powell, his shooting in the first half really hurt us. And so, but we caused some of that on our own. We had some turnovers there, some unforced turnovers. Couple tough shots they forced us into. They got some transition and they found some rhythm.
Coach, would you have liked to have gotten the ball more to Benning in the first half? He only took 5 shots in the first half, and then the second half he really picked it up.
Yeah, I mean, we would have liked to got it to him, 3 or 4 more times. Again, we had him a few times in opportunities we could throw it in, and we weren't sound. We turned it over a few times trying to get it inside, but Georgia Tech was very long. They threw a lot of different bodies at him, very long in the post. And so they affected some of his shots. He had to kick them out. So he would have had more attempts if their length wasn't what it was. So he made good decisions on kicking the ball out.
Any other questions from the room? All right, we'll go to Zoom. Dan Rubin.
Coach, you mentioned that about this, the different when Chad's in the post, or that the Georgia Tech was long. Sorry, that was the comment that just got made. For you, when you have a team that's longer in the post, what are some of the things that you're trying to do outside that maybe weren't working early, but then obviously in the second half you had that little bit of a run after the game kind of got away there?
Yeah, I mean, I think just playing sound, good shots, taking care of the ball. We weren't surprised. They play with good pace. They get out in transition, and we allowed them to play their game. We allowed them to get out in transition. They got some open threes, got some stuff at the rim. They got a couple guys that are lob threats. So again, you got to keep that team in the half court, and we didn't do a good enough job of doing it. It was part of our plan, but the game got away from us right there in the middle of the first half.
Go to Jack.
Coach, gave up 85 points today. Georgia Tech shot 60%. What was the game plan defensively, and what went wrong with that game plan today?
Yeah, I thought, the early ball screen between, the two guards, McCollum, as well as George. Both of those guys were talented. They were very talented. They were very herky-jerky, changing direction, changing speeds, and they got in the lane some early and was able to either try to score the ball or find a rim threat. And so we started taking that away, and that's when some of the threes happened. Powell came in and gave them a great lift off the bench, So, again, you got to credit them some. I mean, obviously, we aren't as bad as we played, but we didn't play well enough, and Georgia Tech, you got somebody on their home court, you got to take certain things away, and we didn't do it well enough.
Go to Mike Sidley.
Hey, Coach, Luka Taze was getting some more playing time today. He definitely seems like more of a true point guard in the traditional sense. So what can you expect from his role going forward?
Well, I mean, he's a young guy, so, you want to continue to give opportunities to people who deserve it. And so he's one of those guys that works extremely hard every day and comes in and have a great attitude and is coachable. And so you just give him what he deserves, He's been able to break into the lineup some. He's played a little bit in the last 2 games, and hopefully we can continue to help him grow, as a young player.
All right, we'll go back to Dan.
Coach, at one point, I know the assist numbers were down. How much of that offense needs to draw from defense, and then kind of vice versa? If you're able to kind of generate that offense, how does that assist with the defense? And what was Georgia Tech doing that kind of broke that up? I know you mentioned they were playing with pace.
Yeah, you talking about our assists were down?
Yeah,
they did a good job in, ball screen coverage and a drop, not really kind of coming off of shooters. And so it requires the point guard to make great decisions in the lane, rather, shooting it, finding a big guy, or, playing off 2 feet and looking for teammates. So I thought they forced us into the lane with their coverage. And then, our decision-making, we needed to be a little bit better with our decision-making. I thought we missed some guys for shots. And that's where some of our tough shots came and led to their transition.
Go to Jack next.
Coach, it's the second straight game where you guys have gone down significantly in the first half. How do you correct that moving forward, and what's the issue overall in the first place?
Yeah, I mean, just got to, get back and work at it. I mean, obviously it's a season, you got to practice. You get 32 opportunities. Some games you play great. Some games you wish you could do it over. This is one of those games we wish you could do it over. But you just got to go back and work at it. Get the repetitions in on the things you need to drill, and continue to get the guys to understand, how we have to play to win, what tempo we need to play at. And so that's what you do. It's a journey. It's a season. If you look at the definition of a season and a journey, it'll define what we have to do now. We got to get back in and keep working, and don't get discouraged, and figure out how to fix the things we need to fix.